Hi, this is Prommer.
And I'm Peter Kruder.
Yeah, welcome to this little intimate session here. And I'm really pleased to have my dear friend Peter Kruder here, and we're gonna talk about the record, and Peter mixed the record. My Drumlesson project is basically I do cover versions or interpretations of electronic classics like house tunes or techno tunes, and I try to bring them to a different perspective with playing with musicians. And yeah, let's hear some music, I would say.
Yep.
The thing is, we recorded everything live, so we had the whole band in the studio, and most of the songs of the album are basically the first or the second take. All the other musicians didn't really know what's gonna happen in the studio, so we once explained them it's this song. Roberto showed them the keys and they played it, which is very good because these are all brilliant musicians, and once they know which chords to play, they just play them. And but they play them with an energy that is really nice and not too contrived. You have this magical moment. And then basically we went to the studio. I started putting everything on the mixing board and tried to get the feeling for the tracks right, which is basically just make them flow nicely and putting the things in the front that needs to be in the front and things in the back that need to be in the back. Once you have it on the mixing board, sometimes it's for different parts it's too much, so I'm mostly sitting at the mixing board doing some mutes, some parts here there, so that we get finally shape the song and leave out the stuff that clouds up everything and you can get rid of. And yeah, that's what we did.
Simple as that. So there's no magic, as you can see. Thank you for coming, and hope to see you soon again. This is now the session, and as you can see, there's not so much editing going on with the basic tracks. We have like the drum group, which was pretty simple and straightforward, and we start with the kick drum. And in this case, I shouldn't, because it should stay a secret, but I tell you, we added a little electronic kick to it, because we felt that the kick drum that Matteo played needed some help. And that's, I think, a brilliant new feature of Logic that you thought of with the flex time algorithm. You can calculate all the transients of an audio file, and then you can load a sampler and he plays exactly the same track. So you have like a MIDI track. We hear the kick. Then we hear the additional bass drum. But that's a way I usually work when I have like ideas. I just record them, and then we sort of mute and unmute tracks and see what works and what doesn't work and what sort of catches your emotion. That's what we did with this track for sure, that we sort of had all these continuous tracks, and then we decided which one we would open on the mixing desk. I think the important thing also for us is to find the key element of the song and sort of look what the story you want to tell. Since these are interpretations of original songs that are already out there and pretty well known, and we tried to sort of have a different look at it, and maybe we find some other element that for us than the other people, would find in the songs. Because it's so easy to put stuff and layer stuff and have another shaker and have another kick drum and an acid line here and some sequencing and a pad and some strings and stuff. But I think then at the end, if you commit yourself to, okay, the final track, maybe you only use 20% of the stuff you did. And I think that's really important, to have the courage to say, okay, this is what I need to get to the plateau where I can decide what is the song.
We start off with the most important element, be it the guitar, be it some keys, be it something else. And then we just put up one track after the other, and if it sounds good and if it makes the track better, we leave it. If it doesn't, we just throw it away. So sometimes you originally record like 40 tracks, and at the end, the song only has like 14. The first record that Christian did, we did it together, which was basically a jazz record. So the first record was recorded in 10 hours and mixed in 12 hours. The whole record. So we had a real old school approach. We recorded like really live. We go in the studio and mix it like really live. Not too much messing around, just finding a sound and then do the record. For this record, the idea was to be much more adventurous. So we recorded for 2 days this time, but mixed for a week. About a week. At the end, when we do the mix down, it's 4 hands on the desk. I have like a 48-track all valve desk, and all the aux are filled with different delays, different chains. I do a lot of chains, so I take a delay, I put it in a phaser, and this goes to a small room. And then we just mess around with it, basically. So we recorded, mixed until we messed it up. You know, then we went back a little bit and started from there and recorded it and then pasted it all together. The beauty about it is that if you record it live and if you mix it live, you know, it has another element to it, you know. And because of course you can do the automations in Logic and you can be really anal about anything, you know. But the cool thing is with us, we just do it the way we feel it, you know. And you know, you do a take, you do another take. You know, as long as it feels good, you know, it's so much more satisfying somehow, you know, if you work and you both, you know, we look at each other and we're like, you know, like this, you know, it's really nice. That's a really cool thing.
I was sort of in between projects. In 2005, I quit everything I did, and I sort of was looking for a new way to express myself, and I would even say an identity as a musician. I had a big room, and I said, okay, I bring my drum set out of the cellar and just see what happens. I sort of always felt that Detroit techno and 60s jazz, trio jazz, have an energy that they have in common. You can play them out, you may throw them in a DJ set, and it's just pure energy. And then I met this amazing piano player, Roberto Di Gioia, and I explained the idea to him, and he said, okay, wouldn't it be great to make a jazz tune but with a techno track? And then we did the Strings of Life version, and our friend Wolfgang Hafner played the drums on it. It was just fun. Got it out in one day and mixed it in one day. It was really fast and great fun and great spirit. I think that's the fun part of music, that you sort of think about it all year. Now, what's my career going to be, and what's the smart step, and and then you go to the studio and do something completely different. I think when you leave the studio or the mixing studio and the record is for you I always feel when I'm finished that the record's already a success, because I'm happy with it and I'm proud to play it to people. I think if you sort of make something that you are happy with, then you're already a success in your field. And that, yeah, it was like an evolution without too much intellect in it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
We just finished the Dubspot session. It was great fun and good inspiration, and I think that's the key to music for me always. Inspiration and trust your instincts. It's always right.
Yeah, and it's very good if you're not dependent financially on music, so you can make the music you want to make and try to keep that up.
It's a good hobby.
It's a good hobby, yeah, it's a good hobby, and sometimes it works out and you're lucky and you make money, but don't depend on it. Make music for the sake of music.
Have fun.
And check out Dubspot for your education in music. Peace.
This is not an actor, it's a real person.